Alright guys, I'm going to solve one of these problems for self-study. It came from the back of chapter 17. I like these problems because they show you the solution, so it's a good way to check. And this is a compare and contrast between the weighted average method and the FIFO method. I'm actually going to do the FIFO method first because it's more difficult, and then I'll compare that in another video against the weighted average method. And I think making two different videos helps demonstrate how to solve for the equivalent units under the two scenarios. So we'll go ahead and read the problem. It says, Allied Chemicals operates an assembly process as the second of three processes at its plastic plant. Now when it says second process, what that means is there's probably going to be transferred in from another department, transferred in cost or transferred in units. So just keep that in mind. Conversion costs are added evenly during the process, while direct materials are added at the end. The following data pertains to the assembly department for June 2017. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is just fill out the actual data into the form, and then we'll go about doing what do they ask, compute the equivalent units under the weighted average method and the FIFO method. And like I said, we'll do the FIFO method. So first let's just fill out the data. We'll go to units, work in process, beginning inventory. So right here, work in process, beginning inventory, 50,000. Okay. And then it says started during this period. And here that number's transferred in because, as I said, it's the second department, so they didn't start, they transferred in 200,000. Okay, and this number is the sum of those two numbers. Okay, so now because we're using the FIFO method, we have to differentiate between how many of those units were from the beginning inventory, how many were from the remaining, and then right here they don't tell us how many were in the ending inventory, but we can figure it out. So we know the bottom line, these two numbers have to equal. So this has to equal to this. We know the completed and transferred out. We know the beginning inventory has to be from the beginning inventory because those are the first ones. Okay, and then it says right here, completed and transferred out during the current period equals to 210. So the completed and transfer out is everything that's not in the ending inventory. So that means this plus this has to equal 210. So that means this must equal 160,000. And then this has to equal the remainder, which is 40,000. Okay, so all these numbers have to add up to 250. The beginning and the remaining inventory have to equal what's not in the ending inventory. So if they would have given us the ending inventory, instead we would have had to do the same calculation, but calculate for that. Okay, now that we have the actual numbers, now we have to deal with these percentage of completion. Okay, so I like to put these degree of completion, beginning work in process up here at the top, and then I like to put the degree of completion ending work in process down here at the bottom, and I'll show you why. I have this little formula that's going to help us solve the problem, and so that'll become important later. So the percentage, the first percentage is degree of completion, beginning work in process for transferred in. It's not 100%. I'm just going to use decimal, so that's 1. 0% for direct materials, that's 0. Conversion cost, 80%, so that's 0.8. Okay, and I'll do the same thing for these numbers down here at the bottom. 100%, that's 1. 0%, and then 40%, 0.4. Okay, let's see. need to change this to a number so it's visible. Okay. This. Okay. Now we have that settled. Now, in order to complete this, I use this little formula. So for the beginning inventory, which is this top number, we use this formula. The number, which is 50,000, multiplied times 1 minus the percentage up here. So we use the top percentage. For the middle number, we just use the number and we take that across. For the bottom one, we use this bottom formula, which is the number, which is 40,000, multiplied times the percentage. Okay, so the difference is up here we use 1 minus the percentage. Here we just use the number, and on the bottom we use multiplied times the percentage. So we'll go ahead and work it out, and I'll show you how that works. So we follow in the formula. This equals the number, which is that, multiply times 1 minus the percentage, close parentheses, and it's 0. And as you can see here, we followed the formula. The number multiplied times the number multiplied times 1 minus the percentage. Okay? So we actually can copy that formula across, but I'm not going to, but let's just do it again. So that equals the number multiply times 1 minus the percentage. Okay, that's 50,000. And then this equals the number multiplied times 1 minus the percentage, close parentheses. Okay, now let's move on down to the second line and we'll follow the same formula. That just equals the number. Okay, that equals the number. This equals the number. Okay, and this equals the number multiplied times 1 minus this percentage, not this percentage, so we use the bottom percentage. Okay, and this equals the number multiplied times the percentage. I don't think I did that right. I put 1 minus. Sorry about that. It's just the percentage. Okay. Let me do it correctly this time. This equals the number multiplied times the percentage. Okay. Let me redo this. Equals the number multiplied times percentage. Okay, it doesn't need parentheses. There we go. Now we can just auto sum. Auto sum. Auto sum. And that gives us the equivalent units of production using the FIFO method. So all you really have to do is remember this formula here. The top number, which is the beginning inventory, multiplies times 1 minus the percentage. The middle number carries all the way across. It's just the number. and the bottom number multiplies times the percentage, not 1 minus the percentage. And that should give you the equivalent units of production every time. So I hope this helps in solving these type of problems, and I'll see you in the next video.